Scalar multiplication of matrices. With this, we're going to look at what a scalar multiplication of a matrix is. We're going to identify how to deal with the negative of a matrix. And finally, we will do some scalar multiplication of matrices. The scalar multiplication of a matrix just means that you multiply every value in the matrix by a real number. For example, if we have this matrix X, E, F, G, H, is a 2 by 2 matrix, and we have Bx, what we mean by that is we're going to multiply each of the values of this matrix by whatever the value of B is. B is going to be a real number. Now let's look at this example. We have A equal to this matrix. Now let's look at the value of 2A. So 2A is equal to, pull this matrix right here, we have 2 multiplied by negative 2, 2 multiplied by 7, 5 multiplied by 2, 8 multiplied by 2. So this is going to give us 2 multiplied by negative 2 is negative 4, 2 multiplied by 7 is 14, 5 multiplied by 2 is 10, 8 multiplied by 2 is 16. Let's look at this other example. So we have 2 by 2 here, and then we also have a 2 by 2 here. So 4A is equal to negative 2 multiplied by 4, 5 multiplied by 4, 7 multiplied by 4, 8 multiplied by 4. So this is going to give us, we have negative 8, 28, we have 20, and then we have 32. 3b is going to give us 6 multiplied by 3, 0 multiplied by 3, negative 3 multiplied by 3, negative 7 multiplied by 3, which is going to end us with 18, negative 9, 0, negative 21. So now we're going to have 4a minus 3b, which is going to give us, let's look at the first step is going to be looking at the size of the matrix. So there we have 2 rows by 2 columns. We have 2 rows by 2 columns, so we can do a subtraction. So we have negative 8 minus 18, 28 minus 9, 20 minus 0, 32 minus 21. So our final matrix is going to be negative 8 minus 18, negative 26, 28 minus 9, 28 plus 9, 37, 20 minus 0, that is 20, and 32 minus 21 is 32 plus 21, which is 53. So the negative of a matrix simply means performing a scalar multiplication of a matrix by negative 1. So what that means to us is that we're going to subtract every term in the matrix by negative 1. So let's look at the negative of this matrix. All we're going to do is multiply everything by negative 1. So we have negative 2 multiplied by negative 1, 4 multiplied by negative 1, negative 3 multiplied by negative 1, 7 multiplied by negative 1, minus 11 multiplied by negative 1, and then 8 multiplied by negative 1. So you're going to notice that the sign on each of these matrices is just going to flip. So this is going to give us 2, negative 7, negative 4, 11, 3, negative 8. So let's apply this. We're going to have negative 2a is going to be equal to -2 multiplied by -2, 5 multiplied by -2, 7 multiplied by -2, 8 multiplied by -2. So this is going to give us -4, -10, -14. Sorry, this is going to be +4. And then this is -16. And then -b is going to be multiplying each of the terms by -1. So we have 6 multiplied by -1, 0 multiplied by -1, -3 multiplied by -1, -7 multiplied by -1. So this is going to give us our final matrix of -6, 3, 0, 7. So now -2a plus -b is going to give us, first of all, we're going to look at the final size of each of these matrices from our previous negative multiplication. So this is a 2 by 2. This is also a 2 by 2. So we can actually add them together. So this is 4 plus -6, -14 plus 3 minus 10 plus 0 minus 16 plus 7. So 4 plus -6, we get -2 over there. Minus 10 plus 0, we get -10. Minus 14 plus 3, -11. -16 plus 7, we have -9. So this is our final matrix after applying the -2a plus -b.